part ways with Nolan and what you like about what Blake Gillikin brought to the table?
Yeah, just we kind of, look at everything after, the whole body of work and after each game and just felt like this was the best decision for the team. And Blake has punted at a high level for a pretty good amount of time, but excited to get him into the fold.
After the quarter-ish mark of the season, where do you think this team is right now?
1-3.
What do you like about this team? Where do you?
Got to win some games. But I like the process that we're operating with, and I like their attitude. But we know what we need to do to win this next week, and that's got to show up in practice and in the game because they're itching right now. You're 1-3, you know what I mean? So, but that's in the past. You learn from it, and you attack this week like it's any other week.
To expand off of that, I know Bill Parcells' famous line was, "You are what your record says you are." Do you think that that's a fair way to describe this team?
I do.
With Dennis Daly kind of being one of the first guys to work his way back from injury, how do you work him back in? Looked like he was maybe going to be a backup guard. Does he have to just kind of start from scratch, or do you work him right back to where?
Yeah, kind of where he left off, honestly. You know what I mean? He was playing good football for us. We had a role for him that we're going to use on game day, but just like all these guys, with Garrett too, like we got to see how he is, a big guy coming back from an ankle, So I'm looking forward. He's another one, he's ready to go. But we'll see where it goes this week and see if we can get him back into the fold if he feels, well enough to play. I like where he's at, and I got a high opinion of DD.
Is Garrett in a different spot than maybe a veteran who's coming off a long-term injury just because he hasn't had a chance to practice on the NFL level?
I think so. I mean, you're a rookie playing in first time in the NFL, haven't lined up once, haven't played in, a practice yet for us. So, yeah, he's in a little bit different spot as far as experience and things that he needs to get done throughout the week. Technique, fundamentals, schematics, all that stuff. So, we'll have our eye on him. And like I said, he's excited to get back out there.
How's Buda progressing?
Good. He's doing well. Every day he's getting a little bit better.
Would it be like from Blunt to get, elevated?
Yeah, smart, instinctive, fast, kind of a playmaker. I think he'll have a role on fourth down and on the defense. So excited to get him going. He took when he got here, he's a little nicked. He's healthy, and excited for him.
It seems like everybody's been talking about Josh's progress and his growth in his offense. Where do you want to see him go from here? What's the next step for Josh in this season?
I think it's not Josh, it's everybody. It's let's play better football all around the board, and that's everyone has their hand in that. Coaches first, and then the players and everybody in the building. But as long as he keeps doing what he's doing and correcting mistakes and playing well for us, he's doing a good job.
In your experience, what's the danger of an offense that's coming in struggling like this but has previous success?
Yeah, I would say, the team knows this team has been in the championship game 2 years in a row, been to the Super Bowl. They got big-time skill in a good scheme with a lot of weapons around. So, I know the record is what you say it is, but, they're a very dangerous football team. I know that.
Last year, did you prep for them at all when you got to the NFC Championship game?
Has Josh got more involved in some of the game planning, and are you more actively asking him what he likes to run more?
I wouldn't say more involved. He's always been involved. Quarterbacks are always involved in the game plan. So, that's where Drew kind of starts, honestly. He starts with the coaches himself, what he sees on the tape, and then he gets with those guys pretty early in the week when starts putting down thoughts and input from the quarterback is critical. And not just Monday, Tuesday, but the entire week, even up until Sunday or Saturday night. Typically, I don't like to make changes Sunday morning, but I've seen that happen too. So, all the quarterbacks are very involved in the game plan.
You got a score prediction for the D-backs game tonight?
1-0 defensive game.
What
1-0.
makes you now? You mentioned the
the Diamondbacks a couple times this week.
I'm kind of a sports fan, and I think, honestly, my kids, they're baseball fans. So, and I know Torrey a little bit, so obviously pulling for him, being in the city that we're in, you're pulling for him. So, it's good to see him have some success, and we're pulling for him.
Is that pretty common, like in every place you've been?
To each their own. I mean, I don't know that. Certain cities I've been in, I think so. You know what I mean. But I like the energy in the city around all the sports teams, and as a sports fan and kind of our home team, we're pulling for them.
You've gone for two quite a bit already this season. How much of that is the game plan and the week leading up to the game, and how much of that is just how the game is progressing and having to kind of make that decision?
Good question, Danny. Both, honestly. So you kind of have in your mind how you want to play the game, and then as the game progresses and you see, score and time and everything going on, where the ball is. Why I say where the ball, you're like, well, why would you say that, JG? When the ball's on the one, But there's times when the ball is on the one and you want to kick it too. So it's a combination of both, honestly. But, and Drew and I talked about that. We haven't been quite as successful as we want to be there. So we got to make sure we're spending a little time on that, make sure we're putting our guys in the right spots to get those points.
On the fake punt, how much freedom do you give Jeff to kind of just do it, or does he have to run it by you and get the green light?
Yeah, there's a famous quote out there for a guy that I used to work for that says, "I give him the freedom to do exactly what I say." That is not the quote that I want to see. No, with all the coordinators and with the team, I'm in complete lockstep to what we're doing. Everything that goes on that field is my responsibility, and I give guys autonomy, but. I was well aware of that. We're in constant communication throughout the week, throughout the game, so it's. But he had the confidence to pull the trigger, and he's, hey, you want to do this, and we talked about it, and I said, yeah, pull the trigger. So, he has. He brings ideas to me as the offense and defense does, and we talk about it, discuss it. I always like to discuss too, like, hey, here's the pros of it, what are the cons of it, you know what I mean? And we got to make sure we have answers, and if it works, great. If it doesn't work, then we got to be willing to swallow that too. But every decision that's made out there is I'm responsible for. So, but I love how they go about that process, the three coordinators, the coaches, to be in lockstep with me.
Is there any disappointment from Kyler that he doesn't get, not activated, but a chance to go begin practicing?
From me or Kyler?
Just being eligible and just, yeah.
No, I don't think there's any disappointment. We knew kind of his timeline, where he's at, and that's kind of a day-by-day deal, as with all our guys that are coming off an injury. But he's actually been very upbeat the whole time. But these last couple weeks, I've seen a little bit of a different bounce in his step. And he'll just keep going day by day, and when he's ready to get out there, we'll get him out there.